going to be using the Windows 10 Photos app and File Explorer. Remember, you can always launch File Explorer with using the window and the E at the same time. Here I am in the Windows File Explorer, and I'm down in my downloads in my From Claude folder. And the first thing I'm going to want to do when working with photos is to change the view. And I want to go to icons. I could go to extra large, large, or medium icons. Small icons doesn't work on my computer, so I'm going to go to large because that's what I like to work with. I also have over here what's called a details pane. I could change this to a preview. I can resize this by grabbing this and making it big so that I can see what my pictures are like. Now, if you're not seeing this, if you're seeing, you may have a problem. And if I open my folders options and go to view, a lot of people set up their computers to be super optimized, and they set this like that. And all they're seeing with these large icons are the icons for the program that is set to open them. We're going to change that back to not show icons all the time. So we're going to apply, and there are my pictures back. If that doesn't fix that icon problem, you might have a broken cache and you'll need to Google that. There are several solutions for how to fix that. That's beyond the scope of this video. Besides the view, there are some tools over here in the picture tools. Here is where one of the places where you can change a picture to be your wallpaper. We can cause it to go into slideshow mode and show all the pictures in this folder over and over. And we could rotate a picture. And this is an EXIF rotate, which means that it just, every time I click it, it just sets a flag. It's a lossless method. I'm going to talk about what that means to you next. There are two types of photo rotation, EXIF and pixel rotation. EXIF is a lossless rotation method. Your camera might do it automatically. If you've turned it up on the side, it might say, okay, show this rotated. The problem with this method is it often does not display correctly on other devices. So the picture will show sideways to some people and not other people, depending on what kind of device and what kind of browser. My media player doesn't show these, doesn't rotate them. If I throw them to a disk, they won't rotate. So it's important to know if they're rotated in this method, and it's very difficult to find it out without a special tool. The problem with pixel rotation is you've got to save it again. And if you're saving it as a JPEG, JPEG uses a lossy compression method. Even with the highest quality settings, small amounts of detail are lost every time you save the picture. If I want to open a photo, for me, I can just double click, but you might have to open with and go to Photos, the Photos app. This is the one that came with your Windows 10 unless you removed it. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to switch over to Photos. Okay, so I'm in the Photos app. Photos app has had a lot of changes. Here's the zoom control, where you can make things bigger or go back to normal size, where you can get rid of it, where you can add it to a favorite. And here's another rotate tool. And this again is an EXIF rotate. And here is the crop or the edit and create. Both of these two take you to the same place. We're going to edit and create. At the top here, we have the straighten, which we can go to 45 degrees in either direction. Here we again have a rotate. This one is a pixel rotate. It's going to rotate all the pixels in your photo. And so it will display the same way every place that you use the photo. So if I click on rotate, let me just undo. I can flip it back and forth, and I can crop it by using these tools and making a certain size. And I can drag the picture around to be in the center, but I'm going to undo all of those changes. Now let's look at the aspect ratio. Over here, I have several preset ratios: widescreen, square, 8x10 or 10x8, 3x2, 4x3, 7x5, or 5x7. Those are standard frame sizes. And sometimes it really helps if you want to go print a picture, if you have it in the right aspect ratio. So let's just make this a 5x7. And let's go back and make that a portrait 5x7. It will fit in a 5x7 frame, even though this may not be a 5x7 photo. It might be a 10x14. I don't know what the aspect rate or how many pixels there are, but if I go to print it as a 5x7, it will work just fine. So let's just save this. Save a copy. And let's call it, okay, let's call it 5x7. Okay, I now have a 5x7 photo. Let me find another photo. Let's go to a red eye. Let's edit and create this. Go to edit. I'm going to go to adjustments, and I'm going to go down, and I'm going to say red eye. And I'm going to click on here, and look at that. All the red is out of her eye. Doesn't that look better? And that's how you would fix a red eye. There's a spot fix too. It doesn't work real well for me, so I don't use it. I use a different program to do any kind of spot fixes. Clarity, I could make her sharper, or I could fuzz her down. Vignette, I could cause her to get light or dark on the sides. And here we have a picture that needs to have the exposure fixed. So let's go to edit and create. Edit. Let's go to adjustments, and let's flip open the light controls. We could just go lighter or darker, but we have more granular control. Let's fix the exposure. Let's underexpose it a little bit. Let's make the whites a little bit whiter, the darks a little bit darker, expand the contrast. We could change the color. We could go warmer or lighter. We can do the clarity. Let me just zoom in a little bit. I'm using my scroll wheel. Let's improve the clarity. Can you see these things getting sharper as I change this? Let me go back. As I change this, the lines get a little bit sharper. If I wanted to dull the edges, I could. Let's zoom back out. Color more. Or I can just do the tint and the warmth warmer. More tint. And I think that that looks a little bit better. Let's do undo, redo, undo, redo. Yeah, I like that a lot better. And so I'm going to save a copy and edit it. And let's, I mentioned that you don't want to print using this print feature. We'll go back and do that out of the file manager, because printing here only will print one picture per page, no matter how many pictures you could actually fit on there. And then here's resize. Resize is different than cropping. And if I want to resize, I can make it small for a thumbnail, medium for emails and messages, for best viewing, custom. Maybe I have a specific width I want it. Maybe I wanted 1,000. And you always want to maintain the aspect ratio, and you can save the resized image. So that's how you would make something smaller. Again, resizing or scaling the image is different than cropping. Okay, and again, so I'm done with this. Okay, let's talk about printing. I'm in File Explorer, and I'm going to grab 2 pictures. And I told you that the Photos app doesn't print very well, and you want to print from the File Explorer when printing pictures. So I'm going to right-click on this and get my print option. And this popped up a new window, and it lets me print a full page. I could have done this in the other one, but if I wanted to get 2 pictures on the same piece of paper, I would have needed to print using this option, because the Photos app only prints 1 picture. Let's go down and make these wallet size. And I want to have 8 copies, or not. 5. I want to print 5 copies. It's going to print them on 2 pages, and I shouldn't have hit the print button because that's what happened. But anyway, these are printing out in the background as we speak. And that's how I would print pictures as opposed to using the photo app.